Hello, this is Muhammad Al-Madari. My Access ID is fr2604. I'm in group 22 with Tyler and John, and I'm going to show you around our group project. So I have it open here in MATLAB. So a little background about our project. We chose to use some NBA stats provided by our instructor as a link, and we went ahead and took all that data and imported it as an Excel file right here, NBA Stats 1516. And then we went and imported it into MATLAB as a numerical matrix down here, NBA Stats 1516. So our project involves three different functions, one for each of us, and it can display four different kinds of statistical information, such as points per minute, total points per season, total assists per season, and percentage of games played. So this right here is our master script. I can call all of our functions from this single M file. So we use a menu option, so the user can choose whatever stat he wants to look at, the menu option right here. And we also use a while loop with a switch case inside, so we can switch between our different functions. And the while loop is used for the end key. The end key because if the user wants to end our function, he would have to click the end key. Otherwise, it would keep on running. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate for you. So if I click run, we got our menu up here to the left with the end key that I was saying. So if I go ahead and click the first option, points per minute, it's going to ask me would I like to fit a curve to the graph. I'm going to go ahead and say yes. And as you can see, the graph with the fitted line comes up to the left, and we also have a histogram to our right with the points per minute graph right here. We also have an average value down here, 0.38808. So that was that first function right there. If I go ahead and click it again and click no this time, it's just going to display the same exact data, but the only difference is it's not going to fit a line to this left graph right here. It's just going to display the scatter plot without a fitted line. So that was the first function. The second function is points and assists per season. So if I go ahead and click on that and click on points per season, it's going to go ahead and take the top 10 players with the most points for that season and divide them into this pie chart. And also it's going to display them as a table in descending order down here, as you can see, players and points. And also it's going to display the average value down here, 530.57. So X this out. If I go ahead and click on it again, assists per season, it's going to display the same exact thing, but with assists per season as a pie chart. Top 10 players with the most assists. Same thing down here with the table with the players and assists in descending order, and the average value down here. Let me go ahead and X this out and continue. I'm going to go ahead and run the last function, so which is percentage of games played. Now you can display the average percent, and the average is right there, 66.79. And you can also display the median percentage, which is the middle value, which is about 75 games. And lastly, you can also display a histogram. As you can see, here's the histogram without MATLAB, but this is the histogram of percentage of games played. So I'm going to go ahead and end our function, go back into MATLAB, and I'm going to go ahead and explain each function in detail. So this next function is the points per minute function. This is Tyler's function. And basically he used a while loop to calculate the points per minute. This right here is a column holder. So he used a column holder to hold the values of each column because there's 476 different values because there's 476 different players. Now this line right here is the main calculation. So he took column 3 and divided it by column 2. Column 3 is the points scored, and column 2 is the minutes played per game. And that's how he calculated the points per minute, used the while loop. He also included a menu option right here. That's where I was asked if I would like to fit a curve or not. So it comes with two options, a yes or a no, and an if statement is required, because if the choice is equal to 1 or if the choice is equal to yes, this block of code right here is going to be executed. That's where the fitted line comes in. He uses polyfit, of course, and polyval, and the histogram is displayed right here with the title. This block of code is he's just modifying his image, his graph, X labels, Y labels, titles, and the average value is right there. Now this else statement right here is the other option. This if you wouldn't like to see a fitted line to the graph. So it's the same exact code. It's just missing the polyfit and polyval part. We got the average value right there. And we have the end of the if statement right here and the end of the function file right there. And that's Tyler's function right there. So X this out, go to the top 10 players. This is John's function. So John uses a nested for loop, and he also uses a column holder right here to hold the columns of 476 different values. Now, right here is the main calculation. So he takes column 3 and 6 and multiplies those two columns by column 1, which is the amount of games played per player. And column 3 is, of course, the points scored, and column 6 is the assists for each player. So he takes both those columns and multiplies them with column 1. So here's the end of the for loop, and here's the end of the actual for loop. So he uses a menu as well, so he can. That's where you can choose whether to display the points per season or points or assists per season. And he uses a table to display the players and points in descending order, and a pie chart is also displayed with the points, the total points of the top 10 players. And the average is also displayed down here of the points. Now, case 2 is the assists. Same thing. He's going to display a table with the players and assists in descending order. And then he's going to display a pie chart of the top 10 players with the title, the average, and the mean assists of right there. Here's the end of the switch case, and then the end of the for loop right here. So this is John's function, and my function is the last function. This is my function, percentage of games played. Now this, I also use a column holder. So this holds the 476 different values, and my main calculation is right over here. I also use a for loop, and I calculate the points, the percentage of games played by taking column 1, dividing the whole column by 82 games, because that's the total, and multiplying that by 100. End of the for loop, I also use a menu option for the different cases. You can either display the average or the median. The median, and the histogram down here. And that's the end of my function right there. So that's basically our whole project. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks a lot.